What is up, guys? My name is Lex. Welcome back to the vlog. Today we're playing a $1,100 tournament at the Seminole Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. This place is packed full of people. Over $450,000 in the prize pool and $91,000 for first place. Let's get started. The first interesting hand comes out when the blinds are 100, 200 with a 200 big blind ante. Chance Cornuth, who is a millionaire earning poker crusher, opens up to $500 in middle position. There's a later position 3-bet to $800 by a player who is very splashy. I decide to just call in the big blind with pocket tens, and Chance calls as well. Flop is 9, deuce, deuce, pretty safe for us. I check and the action checks all the way around. Turn is another 9, double pairing the board. I continue to play and flow and check, and now Chance bets $2,500. He has about $4,500 left. The initial 3-better in the cutoff thinks for a while and folds, and I feel like we just have one option here, and that is to call. The river's a 6, shouldn't change anything unless he has pocket sixes. I've already made up my mind that I'm going to snap call whatever bet he makes on the river. I check over to him, and now he does something that honestly I wasn't really expecting. I think he was trying to get a read off me, but he goes to stack his chips up really fast right now, like he's about to go all in, and then looks over at me trying to get a read, I guess. And then eventually he shoves it in there. I make the snap call. He shows 9-10 of hearts for a full house, and pocket tens are cracked. We lost about half our stack on the very first hand. Although what he did isn't illegal in the rule book, I just think it's bad etiquette. He stacked his chips up really fast like he was about to go all in, then he paused to try to get a reaction from me. I'm not a tournament professional. This is level 3 of an $1,100 tournament, and it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Maybe it was because he sucked out on a 2-outer as well. Our stack is now down to 12,000 chips. Next, the hijack player makes it 800. Small blind calls 800. I have ace king in the big blind. In tournaments, ace king is a super strong hand. You're just trying to basically get it all in a lot of the time. I re-raise here to 3,000 chips. Hijack player makes to call, and small blind makes to fold. Heads up to 9, 5, 3, 2 clubs. My plan here is to bet small on the flop and then shove basically any turn card. I make it 1,500, and luckily hijack player lets it go, and our stack is up to about 19,000 now. Next hand, James Caldero sits down in the small blind. He's another tournament crusher with almost $5 million in earnings. He limps to small blind. I have pocket sevens. I raise to 1,000. He makes to call. The flop is 4, 5, 6, 2 hearts. We flop an overpair, an open ender. Obviously this board is pretty good for our hand, but against our raising range, it's honestly not too good. I decide to check this one back, and we see a pretty great turn card of the 7 of diamonds, giving me top set. Caldo now leads out for 1,000. I don't think I can raise even though I have top set. It's a one-liner to any 8 or any 3 making a straight, so I just decide to call going here to the river, which pairs the board, giving us a full house, and he continues to bet now for 2,500. This is a great spot to be in. We river a full house, and my opponent could have a worse full house the way he played it. He can have some straights that he's never going to be folding to me, so I size up with a raise here to 9,000 chips, and it turns out he was bluffing. He makes a quick fold, and we take down another pot. We have officially survived the first 4 levels. We're now on a 15-minute break, 273 entrants so far, now back into the action. There's a raise to $1,000 from late position. I have ace-jack offsuit on the button, decide to 3-bet to 2.5x, 2,500, folds back to him, and he makes the call. Board is queen 10 for rainbow. We flop a gut shot straight draw and 1 overcard. He checks over to me in a 3-bet pot. I think I should just always be c-betting here. My opponent has around 8,000 chips left, so I plan on betting here and then shoving most turn cards just because I'm going to have a huge range advantage on this board of having a lot of big queens, pocket tens, pocket queens, aces, kings, but unfortunately my opponent doesn't care about range advantage. He puts in a check raise to 4,000 chips. After examining my opponent's stack a little bit further, he has $6,000 left after this raise. I just don't think I have any fold equity if I go all in here, and I don't think I can call with a gut shot straight draw in an overcard that may not be good, so I reluctantly, unfortunately, just fold. Next hand, I have 26 big blinds in early position with king 10 of spades. I min raise here to 1,000. Now Chance Cornuth, the tournament crusher, puts in a 2.5x raise to 2,500, folds back over to me, and 26 big blinds I think is a little bit too much to go all in here. I think my hand is too strong to fold, So I make the call. We're heads up out of position against a player with almost $10 million in tournament earnings, so we're going to have to get lucky here, which we do. The board comes out king high, giving us top pair. I check over to him, and I'm not sure if he misclicked here or if he meant to bet this small, but he makes it 500 chips into almost a $5,000 plus pot. I think against his sizing with top pair with only about 20 big blinds, I should always be check raising, looking to get it all in, but this is when my tournament inexperience really came into play. I wanted to check raise, but in the moment, I just didn't know what sizing I wanted to go. I was confused of how many chips I had or big blinds I had. I really hardly ever play tournaments. I only play cash games, so in the heat of the moment, I decided to call. Turn 7 of diamonds, doesn't change anything unless he has 5-6, which I doubt. He's 3-betting pre-flop against me. I check. He checks back. River 8. I contemplate just jamming all in here, but ultimately I decide to check over to him. The pot is around 7,000 and I have 10,000 chips remaining. He thinks for a while and then decides to bet 15,000, putting me all in. My tournament life is on the line. If I make the call here and I'm wrong, it is over for us. If I make the fold, I still have about 20 big blinds left, so I am in a pretty interesting spot. The hands that he could have here for value would be a slow played aces, kings, ace-king, king-queen, king-jack, 7-8 suited, pocket eights. All those hands we're losing to. I then go into the tank a lot more trying to think of what hands that he could be bluffing with here, and it's hard to really come up with some bluffs. The other thing is that I just called the flop, check the turn, and then now check the river, so he can assume I most likely don't have a set, a straight, or even top pair, so he could just be betting here with ace high or queen high, trying to get me off a smaller pocket pair like pocket nines or pocket tens. I really go back and forth. I have no idea what I should do in this situation. I'm pretty sure I should just always be putting in the call, but given the fact that it's still early on, if I fold, I still have a lot of chips left. I decide to let this one go. In theory, it's just a call. I'm not too happy with the way I played that hand, and I'm also not too happy with my table draw either. I have crushers on my left with millions of dollars worth of earnings. However, I'm not going to complain. This is one of the only times I can stare down Kristen Bicknell during a hand and it not be considered creepy. With around 20 big blinds left, I have a beautiful queen jack of clubs. I min raise here to 1,200. Chance calls on the button. Big blind calls as well. 3 ways to an ace, king, 10 rainbow board. We flop the stone cold nuts. That is what I'm talking about. Big blind checks. I bet. Chance makes the call. The big blind decides he wants to bloat this pot up even more. He mixed it 5,500, I think, for a while and shove my 11,000 in. Chance folds. Big blind snap calls. We're off to the races against queen jack. So we're going to chop this one up. With less than 20 big blinds in our stack, we are all in with our first big pocket pair of the day. Jacks, everybody ends up folding, which is a little unfortunate, and we just take down the blinds. With around 20 big blinds in my stack, I'm under the gun. I min raise to 2,000 chips with ace king. A later position player goes all in for 10 big blinds, folds back over to me, and we make the snap call. We're going to see 5 cards. Ace king versus my opponent's ace queen. We got to hold to take down this pot.
6.
We hold in that one with around 30,000 chips in our stack. There's a later position raise. We have pocket jacks and we jam all in and he makes the fold and things are going in the right direction now. We're finally building up a little momentum. 20 minutes go by, nothing happens for us before there's a 2.5x raise by a middle position player. We have pocket eights with 20 big blinds on the button. It's all going in there. Our tournament life is on the line. Folds back around to the initial raiser who makes the snap call. I show pocket eights and he shows pocket fives. We're in a great spot here to double up.
There you go. No 7.
We flop top set and hold for a massive double up for us. Our very first hand we've lost with pocket tens and we were short stacked for around 4 hours. I try to stay patient and disciplined and finally now we have some chips to play with, around 62,000 in our stack. This next hand is against the same guy who called me with pocket fives. He actually asked me to call him donkey
Make sure you label me as the donkey of the table.
Is that what you want to be labeled as?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Try to
Ask and you shall receive, Mr. Donkey. He makes it $3,500. I have about 65,000 chips in my stack with pocket sevens on the button. I think it's a fine spot to try to set mine here, which is what I do. We see the flop heads up in position. King, queen, 7, 2 diamonds flopping bottom set. The dream spot against a very aggressive player. He continues for 5,000 chips, and I'm going to be putting in a raise. There's so many hands he can call me with, so many straight draws, flush draws, some pairs, some 2 pairs. So I size up here looking to shove all in on the turn. I make it 18,000, but unfortunately, he must have had nothing, and he makes the fold. After hours of being card dead and not really picking up many hands, we are on a hot streak now. Ace queen offsuit under the gun. We have about 45 big blinds left in our stack. I min raise here to 3,000. I get 1 caller, and then donkey on the button makes the call as well. 3 ways out of position to a queen 6-6 2 diamond board. A great flop for us, top pair, top kicker. I don't think donkey is ever going to be folding a queen, a flush draw, or even a pair, so I size up on this flop bet. 7,000 chips, middle position player folds, and donkey ends up making the call. 3 of clubs on the turn, one of the safest cards in the deck. I continue here for 20,000 chips, looking to basically shove any river but a diamond or a king. Donkey doesn't think for too long, it makes the call. We're here in a massive pot. Going to the last card, which is the 8 of diamonds. One of the worst cards in the deck. Brings in the front door flush. I check. Donkey checks back. We may be good. Not this time. He shows 6-7 offsuit for trip 6s. A massive cooler, top pair, top kicker versus trips. I guess we got lucky on the river. If it wasn't a diamond, I was going all in and we would have gotten stacked and been out. So I guess the diamond saved us. We got our stack basically cut in half and we're back down to around 20 big blinds. In tournaments, things move quick. The very next hand, there's an under the gun shove all in. I look down at ace king of clubs in the big blind. Just like that, ace king versus ace 10, we hold to get some of our chips back that we lost to donkey. We are now on break. There's 475 entrants total, 135 people left, $91,000 for first, and they're paying top 60. So we just have to hold out here for another 75 people to get paid. Back from the break, Chance Cornuth in the cutoff makes it 5,000. I have about 18 big blinds in the small blind, so I decide to rip it all in here with king queen offsuit. He thinks for a while. We are looking for a fold here. We're not trying to get it all in with king queen and be flipping. Luckily, he decides to fold. We take down another small pot. My first table ends up breaking and condensing to another table. I look over at the clock and only 90 people left, so we're 30 people away from the money. I am very short stacked, sitting at around 15 to 16 big blinds. So right now we're just looking for a hand that we can go all in with. The only hand I get to play is Jack 9 of spades. In the big blind, I check my option, completely miss, and end up folding. Our table breaks again, and I get moved over to another table. 81 people left. 60 make the money. 21 away with 10 big blinds. I shove all in the small blind with king 3 offsuit and get called by the big blind king 5. We're dominated. We're gonna need some help.
let's chop it up. Come on. Give me a chop. There we go.
Against our 2 hands, we're going to chop it up 43% of the time, and this time is one of those times we are still alive with about 10 big blinds left. We've made it to level 15, just crawling along here. 10 left until we make the money. I have about 8 big blinds left, extremely short stacked, but I got to play tight. I can't just go all in here trying for a double up when we're so close to the money. This next hand, I'm in the big blind and finally get a hand. Ace jack of spades, under the gun min raises. Cutoff calls. I'm about to shove it all in before the button goes all in himself for 30,000 chips. And actually, in this spot, I think I can just fold ace jack suited after all this action. I don't really know, but I just felt like I could let it go and try to find a better spot, which is what I do. Under the gun goes all in. Cutoff player folds and the button shows queen jack of diamonds, so we had him completely dominated, kind of tilting, but under the gun shows ace king, so he had us completely dominated. Really annoying that I finally picked up a playable hand and wasn't able to shove with it, but with about 7 big blinds left, we're still in it, around 7 away from the money. We're just looking for a hand to shove with, but unfortunately, we are so card dead. Just picking up trash hands after trash hands, watching the clock tick down, the levels go up. We're super short stacked now. We are in need of a pair, ace high, king high, something. With 62 people left, only 2 away from the money, I have 7 big blinds under the gun and look down at ace of clubs, 4 of diamonds, the fake aces. I think I could shove here, but with ICM with only 2 people left, I decided to just tank fold, and it's a good thing we did because after this hand, 2 other people bust. We are officially in the money. The very next hand under the gun raises. We have pocket 6s now in the money. No way we're ever folding this hand. We shove it all in. He makes the call and we're off to the races. Pocket 6s versus 7, 8 of clubs. Let's hold. Let's get this double up.
Good luck, bud. What's going on YouTube?
I'm over. I can't believe this. Club.
Ah.
Oh, there's the one over.
6?
All right, just stop right there.
Nice hand.
Congratulations, bro.
Going out 60.
I'm thinking it's this.
Alright guys, that is it for this one. Playing a tournament today, a little bit different. I'm just cash games all the time. I really have not played a tournament in probably over a year. I have a love-hate relationship with tournaments, honestly. Like, I love them because they're exciting, there's an adrenaline rush, and you could win a ton of money. And then I hate them because if you run slow or run bad for like 2 hours or one hand, you're just out. So today was an interesting one. Lost there with pocket 10s versus Chance Cornuth, this multi-million dollar earner. Hits a 9 on me, and from there I just really was short stacked and I just could not quite get like something going. Like for a while I think I had 70 or 80,000 chips and then lost ace queen to trip 6s. Didn't pick up anything after that, just folded forever. We were like 7 or 8 away from the money bubble and I had basically no chips at all. Like I was super short stack and somehow I just folded my way into the money. I went all in with pocket 6s and 60th place. So, you know, I guess it could have been worse. I could have went out on the bubble, but ended up profiting $570 on the day. So, you know, for not playing too many tournaments, I feel like I did okay. I definitely need to ask some questions to my friends who play tournaments all the time about some spots I was in, trying to get better. I think I played very passive. Like in tournaments, you have to ramp up the aggression, and I play fairly passive style, like low variance, and I think in tournaments you gotta push the aggression, push the variance to try to build a big stack. So I feel like that's one thing I have to work on. We are going to be playing the Seminole Hard Rock main event on Saturday and hopefully day 2 on Sunday, so that's going to be a vlog as well. Probably not the next one, it's going to be the one after that. Hope you guys enjoyed this, a little bit different. Vlog number 100. We made it. Thank to you guys for showing up every single week and watching my videos. If you enjoyed this one, hit that like button, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, trying to get to 40,000 subscribers. Videos like this every single week. All right, until next time, I'll see you.